We rolling.
Welcome to Black Renaissance Television. We are your socially and politically responsible television program. My name is Diane Wesley-Smith, and I am your host. The purpose of Black Resurgence Television is to bring you the latest news from the various communities in the San Francisco Bay Area. In tonight's segment of Black Resurgence TV, we're going to talk about our youth. Not only parents and grandparents are the custodians of our future, which is our youth and our children, but so are we, you and me. And it's time, it's time to show young people that we care and show them some love and some respect. How else will they learn to show love and respect? And our guest tonight is an excellent example of this. Our guest tonight is Mr. Omar Khalif. He is an advocate for justice. Omar is also a youth mentor, and I'm going to let Omar tell you about himself. Omar, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you for inviting me. This is a rare opportunity and a rare occasion for me here in San Francisco, so I'm delighted to be here.
Good.
And I must warn you.
Warn me. Uh-oh.
I'm going to give it to you
what
raw.
does he mean, warn me? You guys already know we going to drop it raw. Matter of fact, you better get your pencil and paper, because this man is going to drop it. That's why he's here. I'm so happy that you're here today, because through the years, I've received so many positive emails from you, talking about so many positive and constructive efforts that you've been making for young people and making a difference. So, Omar, what's going on right now? What are you working on right now?
Well, it's two things I'm working on right now. Currently, I'm working with the Young Scholars Program. There's a group called BMAD, and just the day before yesterday, we had the opportunity to have breakfast for 50 young men with 5 presidents from historical black colleges. So they came out from their prospective schools just to sit with us and have a conversation. And Saturday we are with the Omegas over in Oakland. But so those are some of the things I'm currently working on. I'm kind of making this shift, and I'm also in the process of meeting. I'm to head off to tonight. I'm working with the California Charter Schools Association to open up me a charter school pre-K through 4.
Okay, now I'm glad you said that. You said that you're working on opening up a charter school.
Yes.
And, one of the things I did want to talk about was education. And why do you feel a need? Not that we don't understand there's a need for a charter school, but some people might need to understand why we should contribute some of our tax dollars to a charter school. Why are you opening a charter school?
Well, I'm opening up a charter school because it's a niche audience, and not everyone is ready for school, and not everyone can teach our children.
Wait a minute. What do you mean? What do you mean not everyone is ready, not everyone can teach?
Well, you have to understand, first there's a system that's called the school system. And the system, when the system was comprised, it wasn't comprised with us in mind. And so for us to go into that system and thinking it's all of a sudden going to reshift its focus and begin to cater to our needs is a misnomer. So to create a charter...
See, this is education. Misnomer. Misnomer means that you're using one word to describe something, and that word is not relative or relates to that word at all. So that's like saying, you know what, I'm a white woman. That's a misnomer, because that's totally wrong.
Right.
It's incorrect information.
You're a beautiful black one, too.
Well, we know black people. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, God. So come on, I'm sorry. I just wanted, we want to make sure people understand that's the importance of education. So the schools were not designed for us. And go ahead.
And so since they wasn't designed for us, because if you think back in time in history, again, when the Rockefellers created the Southern Education School Board, they said the Mexicans and the niggers will learn nothing more than reading, writing, and arithmetic. And here we are today in 2009, and we are not achieving at those levels. We're going further backwards.
Okay, now just hold that thought. Now, right now, if you want to call in, if you have a question for Omar or myself, please call us at 415-621-4473. Call-in number is 621-4473. Drop it like it's hot. Give us a call if you have a question, a comment, or if you've done something nice for someone today. Go ahead.
So just still with the school. So what I'm looking at developing is, first I thought about an all boys school, but in the Bayview there's more girls than boys. So I would do a co-ed school, but have same sex classes. And if you look at a pre-K or a K through 4, it gives you more of an opportunity to bring the families in at the earlier part. And in fact, I've already created the name of the school, which is IHV Academy.
Okay, IHV Academy. That sounds, what does IHV stand for?
I have value.
Oh my goodness, I have value. You know, that goes back to showing love for our young people. That goes
Right.
back to showing them some respect, because each and every young person is important, and each and every young person has a purpose. And speaking of that, and speaking of education, you know, as President Obama said, that our children are going to compete in a global economy that most of them are not prepared for.
Right. There's a design. There's a reason why they're not prepared for it.
What's the
because
reason?
The reason is because, again, the model of the education system. Because, you know, I was having a conversation today. Every time I speak about a charter school, when I talk to, we have the high needs parent, the high demand parents, and the no demand parents.
Okay,
I
wait,
think we
what's
can
a
figure
high?
out who's who.
What's
I think we know
high
who's who.
demand?
A high demand parent is one of those parents who
It's challenged.
is not challenged. They're going to challenge you. You're going to educate.
Oh, well,
their
she's
child.
challenged.
Yeah, you're going to educate their child, and more than likely they come from the west side of town. So we call those high demand parents because they're politically connected.
Okay.
They have education. They have the clout. They have the resources and the finances.
And sounds like they do something that low demand parents don't do. Sounds like they participate.
Well, not only do they participate, again, because they have the political clout.
Ah, political clout.
So it's not that a low demand parent doesn't participate, because a low demand parent has went through a failing system as well, and they rely on the expertise of those who they are sending their children to be taught from, and then they're not getting what they need, because again the education at best is not engaging.
Right.
Is not, the education is not culturally competent.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with the way most children learn. There's 3 ways of learning, and I don't think everybody can just sit there and deal with the rote memorization of things like that. So
Okay, so let me just hold that point. You said that there are 3 ways of learning.
don't ask me. No.
Yes, you know I'm going to ask you. That's what we're here for. I just hope you have your pencil and paper.
Kinesthetic, auditory, and
Let's break it down.
I forget the
Break
other
it
one.
DOWN. The first way is
kinesthetic.
mean.
Well, it means, it's about the manipulation. And I could be getting them backwards because I hear them and I don't never, because I spend so much time. But
Well,
it's about being able to manipulate and touch. It's almost like the Montessori way. I can manipulate it if I can touch it.
Okay, feel
because
touch.
it becomes real.
Okay, then let me ask you, and before you tell me about the second one and the third, I want to get right on down further into education and what we can do, because one of the things I had to do in growing up in Hunters Point, I had to go back to school immediately, but because my mother she believed in becoming politically active, and so